No more moochers, no more crooks, no more J-Max dirty, I don't know, taking money to hype shitcoins on his Twitter page. I'm sorry, I just didn't have a rhyme for that. Google is suspending advertising for anybody having anything to do with cryptocurrency. Just like Facebook already has in the past, and it would appear that Twitter is about to do this into the future. Now, this sounds pretty good, right? It weeds out all the BitConnect idiots and the jailbirds, the crypto kids that were shilling their BitConnect product all over the land and making all that money supposedly. I doubt those kids ever actually pulled any cash out of the market. It was just all theoretical to them. But I digress. Google is making it so that people cannot advertise. Now, on its surface, sounds kind of good, doesn't it? Right? The world would be a better place if people would just shut those people up, right? But let's have a look at a few things really quick. Number one, I don't recall Google being assigned the duties of keeping people from advertising things that may or may not be illegal. I mean, let's face it, there are some cryptocurrency scams, and certainly that's illegal, but we don't really know up front whether the people are scamming or not. That's why we have the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, and the CFTC, that stands for Commodity Futures Trade Commission. And we have the NFA, that's the National Futures Association. Like, we have these regulatory bodies that go in and they make sure that people aren't peddling bullshit, right? That's their job. It is their job to make sure that companies like Merrill Lynch or, Dean Witter, Morgan Stanley, these kind of companies don't mislead the public. Now, that's their job. When you have private organizations telling people that they can no longer advertise, that's a completely different thing, because that's not their job. It's not their job to do that. What it is, and okay, now keep this in mind. Like, since it's not their job to do that, what is it that they are doing? What is it that they're actually doing? Well, they're censoring people. And it's not like Google doesn't already have a history, and Twitter and Facebook. It's not like these organizations, who are the world's largest organizations when it comes to this sort of thing, it's not like they don't already have a history of censoring people arbitrarily. They just turn people off if they simply don't like them, right? And that's a very dangerous proposition. And this is why people like Frank Abagnale say anytime there's a technological progression, crime is the first thing that happens, right? With more power comes more responsibility, and that's why we have sayings like absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you have Google, who it is not their job to censor anyone, right? The only thing that is within their purview is to weed out pervs. That's it, right? They're not there to silence people with dissenting points of views or people with controversial points of views. The only thing that they're allowed to do is when an actual crime, a crime that's on the books that we know, like in our society, this thing that we have right here, this is a crime. When that happens, then it is their responsibility to report it to the authorities. That's how our civilization works. That's how we have built it. We have lawyers and judges in this very small little compartment, right? Well, not small, but we have them in a compartment where, they're the ones who need to go after criminals. They're the ones who need to go after the companies like BitConnect, right? That's what happened in Texas when the Texas regulatory authorities came in. They said, hey, wait a minute. We think there's a crime being committed here. And because it was their job, they went after BitConnect. And here we are today. But when you have Google doing it, that's a whole different scenario. Now you're getting into freedom of speech issues. Now, I don't care what country you're living in as you listen to this YouTube video. By the way, hit the subscribe button, would you please, and the bell icon, and the thumbs up button down there. Anyways, when you have companies, private companies, censoring speech, right? Whoever you were born with a voice. That means that you have the right to speak, right? Even controversial things, even if it's in the law of your land, if people are telling you that you're not allowed to say certain things, that is a violation of your God-given abilities, right? You have a brain and therefore you must think. What if they were able to police your thought, they would do it. But since they can't, they can only police your voice. That's the same thing as policing your thought, only without them having the ability to actually pull it off. But if they could, they absolutely would. So if you're living in a nation outside of the United States and your voice is being stifled, listen to me now. You are being violated in a way that is something. The thing about you that's being violated is something that God gave you, right? An ability that God gave you that you must use, right? You have a brain, you must think. You have a voice, you must speak. You have a creative center, you must create. Like, those are things that are intrinsic to the human experience. So what does all this have to do with cryptocurrencies as I'm sitting here pontificating? Well, it's real simple. Google's motto at first was "Don't be evil." And that's exactly what they're doing. They're being evil. And so is Twitter, and so is Facebook. These are private companies. It is not their job to silence anybody, even the people that don't deserve really to have a voice, right? Well, I shouldn't say that. Even people who use their voice to mislead other people and steal from other people, right? Those people, we have a whole department, a whole class of people who are, it's their job to go after those people. It's not Google's job or Twitter's or Facebook. So as we progress into whatever the blockchain technology is here to offer us, whatever cryptocurrencies are going to offer us as human beings, you have to keep that in mind, that there is going to be even more evil stuff going down. And now it's Google, right? The largest search engine in the world. The company that makes all of the information in the world available to us. They are now censoring people when nobody told them to do that. Nobody prompted them to do that. Google did not go to the SEC and say, hey, listen, we'd like to help you fight crime here. You want to come over here and give us a hand? None of that happened. Google and Facebook and Twitter, they did not go to the SEC and hire a bunch of lawyers and say, look, we're going to send people to you that want to advertise on our platform. When they come to you, just charge them a bunch of money and give them a really good comb over and make sure that they pass the smell test. And if you like them, then they can come back to us and pay us an ungodly amount of money and we'll advertise their garbage, right? They didn't do any of that. There's a number of ways this could have gone and none of it happened. It went one way. Google saw something that they didn't like and they decided to turn it off, right? There was no counsel. There was no legal, they didn't go to New York and talk to the SEC. They just pulled the trigger on their own. Now, as we move forward, you are going to be seeing more and more of this. This is not the first time that Google has overstepped their bounds as it applies to free speech. This is not the first time that Google has overstepped their bounds when it comes to becoming a sort of vigilante legal organization, right? They've taken the law upon themselves. That's a very dangerous proposition. So you need to keep your eyes open on this before you go thinking like this is a good thing and this is good for you. How long do you think it will be before they silence you, right? These ICO companies, even the garbage ones that are run by honest people, think about that. They're mostly leftists, right? They're mostly hippy dippy, I want to live in a socialist utopia. These are leftists. And now they're being silenced. And this is exactly what we warned you about, lefties. We told you. If you infringe on somebody's right to speak, it's only you're moments away from you yourself being silenced. And now this is happening. This is happening to leftist organizations. How long will it be before they come to you? That's the question. Food for thought, people. Listen, again, hit the subscribe button, hit like, hit share, and the thumbs up button. And join us on the Crypto Currently podcast every day in the morning in the U.S. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can do that as well. It's right in the links below. Talk to you later.